Welcome to Football Game Plan Scout Team. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and now that the 2021 NFL Draft is complete, let's take a look back and see how well these teams did this past April. With rookie minicamps done and the 90-man roster with the undrafted free agents locked in as they head into training camp, let's evaluate the entire class and hand out a grade. So without further ado, let's take a look at the Football Game Plan Scouting grading scale to see what these numbers next to the prospects actually mean. I guess you can look at the numerical grade and the prospect rankings to see how well I believe the Dolphins did in the 2021 NFL Draft, even in the third round. Getting someone like Hunter Long out of Boston College, my number 2 inline tight end, was a really good pick. He's solid as far as catching the football is concerned. He runs good routes. He's able to block very well. I thought he was the best blocking tight end in this draft class, and it gives them what you want at the inline position. You look at that tight end depth chart that has Mike Gesicki, Adam Shaheen in it. That pick of Long allows you to be a little bit more creative in how you utilize both Shaheen and Gesicki out there in the passing pattern. So getting a guy like Long was a really good pick for Miami. But what I like most about what the Dolphins did in the draft, they nailed the first round of the draft, getting Jalen Waddle, the explosive playmaker from Alabama, to go along with Will Fuller and what else they have on that wide receiver depth chart, and Devontae Parker and company, Lynn Bolton, as well as Preston Williams. But Waddle is a guy that has ridiculous levels of explosiveness and acceleration and should be an instant impact player on that offense. And you look at a guy like Jalen Phillips, who was my number 1 4-3 defensive end, but he's going to be more of a edge rusher in that regard. But I do feel as though he has the capability of being whatever you want him to be up front. They needed someone to come off the edge to bring consistent pressure, and they were able to get that in Jalen Phillips out of Miami. So I thought the Dolphins did a fantastic job of nailing the first round. And I also like how they consistently were able to add pieces to the offensive line, just continue to invest in that offensive front. We saw them do that in 2020 when they drafted 3 players along the offensive line. This year, 2 more players added in Liam Eichenberg, who was my number 2 offensive tackle prospect coming out of Notre Dame, and Larnell Coleman out of UMass. When you look at Eichenberg, tremendous talent, can play guard or tackle. I see him more as a tackle, but he may get an opportunity to start at guard. And Coleman, athletically, he's already there, what you want for an offensive lineman at the NFL level. It's about technique, it's about consistency, and I think he's going to get that coaching, that grooming down there in Miami. But 2 excellent offensive line selections for the Dolphins. And a guy like Javon Holland out of Oregon just has excellent ball skills. He does a fantastic job of playing the ball overall. If there's a play to be made, he'll make it. He's a solid run defender as well. He's able to funnel plays inside or outright make them at the point of attack or behind the line of scrimmage. He has good football awareness and ability in zone cover. So he's a smart football player, one that's able to turn the ball over and can play either safety spot on the back end. So I think he's one of the top tier combo safeties in the draft class. Again, Miami just did a great job selecting very good football players going into the undrafted free agent market. And one guy in particular really stood out to me the most, and that's Robert Jones of Middle Tennessee State. He's ridiculously powerful at the point of attack. I graded him out as a guard. He played right tackle for Middle Tennessee State this past year, but he is one that doesn't waste time in attacking a defensive lineman. His footwork, his ability in pass pro aids in him being an excellent guard prospect. He has efficient footwork and tight, concise hands, and his punch is both assertive and accurate. He brings the fight to your doorstep. It doesn't matter if you're a power rusher or a speed rusher. He's going to meet you at the point of attack and bury you into the ground. I also thought he had a really good week of work down at the Reese's Senior Bowl. So I feel as though someone like Robert Jones just ties into that second point I made about them investing in the offensive line. He has a great chance to make the roster. I give the Dolphins a strong B+ for their draft, and the reason why it's a B+ and not an A+, despite my numbers suggesting it should be an A+, the one area where I thought the Dolphins lacked an impact player was at the running back position. They had numerous opportunities to come away with a game changer in the backfield, and I still feel as though they need someone in the backfield that can help them out as far as scoring touchdowns from anywhere on the field, from being someone that defenses have to account for. They still lack to get one in the draft or in the undrafted free agent market. So that's the only thing that's keeping this excellent draft from being an A+. It's a strong B+, and the Dolphins are definitely heading in the right direction. So that's it for this edition of Football Game Plan Scout Team. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Be sure to follow me on all of my social media accounts, and don't forget to check out and subscribe to the Football Game Plan Network located at youtube.com/footballgameplan. Also subscribe on iTunes to Football Game Plan Podcast and leave us a 5-star rating.